Jacqueline Taylor with Equus Television, and I'm here with Jenna Roviera, who is an exercise rider at Stone Street Training Facility. Welcome.
Thank you, Miss Jacqueline.
So tell us a little bit about that. What is exercise riding? What does that mean? And then tell us a little bit about your background.
So we work with thoroughbreds in getting them prepared for racing. We start them out as young babies and under tack and work their way up in fitness, getting them fitter and understanding the training process and ready to run. They'll eventually get to breezing, and then they'll ship out to the racetrack once they're ready mentally and physically.
So breezing would mean
going fast. Mock trial of racing, you know, you're going strong, almost simulating what you would do in a race so that they're fit, they're building their lungs and muscle and endurance.
Okay, so it sounds very crucial what you do.
I think so.
For sure. I'm sure all of the thoroughbred owners and tracks would agree. So you've been helping Advanced Myographic Technologies figure out some of their Curo applications. Tell me how you've been helping them and what exactly have you been doing?
Absolutely. I think it's a crucial piece of evaluating and assessing the physical well-being of the horses in the industry. And it works both ways, because as a rider, if I'm not feeling well physically, I'm compensating. If I'm sore on this side, I might be overcompensating on this side, and that affects how I'm riding my horse. I might no longer be balanced, which is then going to carry over to my horse, and my horse isn't going to be traveling as well as he or she should. So this tool can help me physically figure out where I might need to seek treatment to feel better myself, which then is going to carry over to my horses, helping them to feel better and travel better, perform better, which I think is a win-win for everybody: owners, trainers, riders, horses.
Definitely. And so for those that are not super familiar, if you're doing any sport and you have to compensate in a certain area, when you're not on an animal and you're doing the sport, you're going to use your body to do that. But when you're on an animal, a horse, it could affect them, like you said, if you're I guess explain that a little bit. So if you're compensating on one side, they could overdevelop or underdevelop different ways?
Mm-hmm. So like in my case, I came back to riding after a little short period of time off, and I pulled a muscle in my thigh. We get a leg up on the horses, and it's pretty painful to where I couldn't even push off of that leg. And what I was noticing was I was bearing more weight on my right side, and again, that's going to impact the balance of the horses that are going under me, and I don't want to do that. Our key foundation is to keep those horses traveling, using both sides of their body and connecting properly so they can perform to their best ability. So for me, evaluating where is that starting from, where do I need to try to help so that I'm not having that pulled muscle and then negatively carrying that over to the horses that I work with and ride. How that might affect the horses, because I'm bearing more weight to get off of that pulled muscle, I'm putting more weight on one side of my horse. That's going to impact the way that the horse moves, how they carry their head, how they carry their back, their shoulders, how they push off of all their legs. So it's extremely, in my opinion, it's extremely important and potentially detrimental if we don't address those issues.
And so the Curo will actually allow for that. When you did the testing, you were essentially hooked up to the different receptors that showed exactly what your muscles were doing at any given point?
Yes, yep. And what we did, we simulated it, because we simulated riding. So I actually used my saddle, got in position of what I would be doing on the horses so that I used the same muscles and could more accurately depict what was going on and what it would be doing when I'm actually in the saddle riding a horse, to get that accurate reading.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to meet with me today. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we finish up?
I think I just want to emphasize how impactful the Curo can be from a rider or really any professional in the equine industry standpoint. if I am feeling better, if I have a tool that can help me to feel better physically, that's going to be a win-win situation, because I'm going to help my horses feel better, behave better, perform better, and that's huge. I don't know why you wouldn't want to try it.
Well, thanks again, and I'm Jacqueline Taylor with Equus Television, coming to you from Horse Farms Forever Conservation Summit.